Hey soul babes, welcome to the Essence Podcast. I'm your host Riss, and in this podcast I love to dive into the world of holistic wellness, creativity, and spirituality. You can see me as your intuitive bestie here to help you gain the tools you need to awaken your creative muscle. Many of us sleep on our creative muscle. We allow our logic to become, by default, the muscle that we use a lot more. We see ourselves on this hamster wheel that we call life and have a hard time feeding these creative urges because sometimes we don't even know where to start. We have a vision, we have a dream, and we don't know how to reach it. We don't actually know how to get off of that hamster wheel and start feeding the creative urges, to start working out that creative muscle. So I'm going to give you the tools you need to step into your feminine, to the creatrix. We are in this podcast getting off of that hamster wheel and moving into this place of balance, this place of where we can use this logic, this analytical mind, but to an extent where it is actually helping the creative urges come into reality.
In your divine essence you shine. In your divine essence you thrive. I'm your host Riss, and you're listening to Essence Podcast.
Beyond gender, we have masculine and feminine energy. We have this doing and we have this being. We have this rest and we have this action. And through life, we go through these motions of following the flow of which one our life is to be in. When we become too embedded in action and we don't give ourselves and our bodies rest, we will find ourselves in chaos. We'll find ourselves overwhelmed. Our body is sleep deprived and we are moving in this place of we don't even know where we're going anymore. It's not making sense. We're just going because our body can't stop. Our mind can't stop. So through those dualities of when we're resting too much, then we aren't allowing ourselves, our bodies to move into this next chapter, into this next place of where we are to take a step into. And if we're in too much action, we are just constantly on the go. We aren't allowing our creative brain to actually help us think smarter instead of harder. So in this totality of what I'm sharing, this is where it's at. It's allowing that creative muscle to get that workout it needs and following that feminine flow. Again, that is beyond our gender, beyond the 3D world of physical matter, but is an actual energy that lives within all of us. Can you believe it's almost summer? Just within these past few months of 2025, we have gone through transformation on top of transformation. Astrologically, we went through an eclipse portal. We went through a Mercury, Mars, and Venus retrograde. On top of that, we're moving and grooving through the ebbs and flows of the lunar cycles, even going through the seasons. We've moved through winter where we were asked to reflect and to hibernate and just really see all that we had gone through of 2024. And then in spring, we get to plant these new ideas and start to whip up this new version of ourselves. And then in summer, that is where it all comes into motion, where we're moving and grooving into this place of like, okay, this is a version of myself I've yet to become and be in, and taking that aligned action. But of course, on the opposite end of that spectrum is shedding and releasing. And sometimes that is not easy to do. So this gets me to share with you also, babes, who are located in the Los Angeles area. I will be co-hosting a beautiful event with my healing partner, Jennifer. She and I will be hosting a summer Somatics event in Malibu, California on Saturday, June 7th from 4:30 to 7:30 p.m. And oh yes, we are moving and grooving. We're healing and grounding. Also, the cherry on top here is enjoying a Malibu sunset while we sip cacao in a cacao ceremony. So the beautiful lineup that we will be offering during this event will range from somatic stretches to get you in the present and moving into an ecstatic energetic dance flow with a curated playlist to help you get out of your mind and into the body while enjoying Mother Earth, enjoying the ocean view, enjoying the sun and the breeze, all of that beauty wrapped up in one. Then we'll move into a breathwork sequence where you will be able to realign your nervous system and allow yourself to release what is no longer serving you from the mind, body, and soul. And then, yes, on top of that is that cacao ceremony combined with a sound bath. It is going to be so delightful to witness also that beautiful sunset all happening at once to really be that heart opener for the welcoming of summer 2025. So if you feel called to join, space is limited, but the tickets are on sale. There's an early bird that has already started that will be going on now until May 25th. So if you feel called to join, please click the link below, and I hope to see you there, soul babes. So to get more into this feminine and masculine energy, I want to bring this into play on how I saw this take place in my trip to Disneyland. But first and foremost, I just want to share this shirt that I made before I even went to Disneyland. I could not find a Disney shirt at all that I liked. I feel like they have a specific style that they make for Disney shirts, and I was not feeling any of them. So I took creative matters into my own hands and I made this tank top. I got a little Simba and I ironed him on. And honestly, Simba right now is that integrity, that Ingonyama spirit, that lion spirit of being in your confidence and standing proud and taking action, but also resting. That's what a lion does. So that is the symbolic feeling of what this is all going to unravel into. But first things first, yes, I finally went to Disneyland. I've been talking about Disneyland in the past few episodes, so now finally going, it felt so relieving. It was so fun. It filled up my inner child, and I can't stop talking about it with my boyfriend, but here we are reflecting and grounding, because that is essentially what needed to be done after 2 days of 43 rides and nonstop eating and learning about myself and learning about my boyfriend all over again, even though we've been together for 7 years. So first things first, I'm a Capricorn. I'm an earth sign, and my boyfriend is a Aquarius. He is an air sign. And what I noticed between this whole vacation of being at Disneyland was that he was on the go, ready to be at one ride to the next ride. And I'm over here like, I like structure and flow, but I also am an earth sign, so I like to keep my feet planted on the ground and I like to feel every step. And between us, it was like, come on, you're moving too slow, or wait, you're moving too fast. Like we were pulling each other back and forth to slow down, to hurry up, to slow down, to hurry up. There was hardly ever any balance of just a normal speed. We kept going. I was so done by Saturday, but I had a whole day to go on Sunday. On Saturday, I felt my body shake. I could not go to sleep because my body was moving so fast, like constantly going and going and going. And by the time that I get to Sunday, I eventually allowed myself to rest. But by Sunday, I was on this place of, I still want to slow down. My boyfriend still wants to move fast. And we were still not getting the gist of what was going on here between each other. But honestly, by the end of Sunday, because I was ready to get this show on a road and get everything that we were doing out of the way so I could basically rest, I basically sped up. I was speeding up every step that I had in me to move this energy in this motion. So basically by default, I became the air sign that I am not an air sign, but I pushed myself to the exhaustion just to keep up. And after Disneyland, that's when it all started to hit me. I slept all day the next day after Disneyland. I saw my body collapse and fall into this place of deep sleep, and which got me stuck in inertia. By Tuesday, I was falling into this place of I can't get up because I slept so much. So throughout this journey of although having fun first and foremost, I was noticing the actual teeter-totter of the feminine and masculine of action and rest being at a tug-of-war of life. And that is essentially what happens to us on a daily basis when we are not aware of the balance that we are to cultivate. We are constantly fighting with ourselves and with the world around us to keep and maintain a balance. I definitely reflected on the idea that I could have definitely spoken up a little more and used the feminine to bring the air down to earth. But honestly, I had really no actual energy to do so, because I do want to also mention that before I went to Disneyland, I did have this energetic kundalini experience move through my spine. The Friday night before we left, we went to a yin yoga class, and this yin yoga class is very chill, right? Like, you are just basically stretching in this yoga class and nothing too intense. But because I was so in tune with my body and feeling into what my body was telling me, I started to notice that my body wanted to do its own thing, which gets me to want to share again the interview I did with Olivia Schaefer on spinal energetics, because it was pretty much this. It was the spinal energetics that I was feeling. If you're unaware of spinal energetics, again, I'll put the link below here. And it is this energetic flow that moves into the spine. It's our body also being able to allow itself to release things that it's been holding on to, tension in the spine that it releases. And it moves in a way that it feels called to move. And you, as an awareness, are to surrender to what your body is showing you, what your body is feeling, and moving through that. It comes in different patterns and in different ways that it becomes stuck. The body holds the tension from different patterns and different ways that it moves through life. So for me, in the session that I had done with Olivia a while back, a lot of what my body was releasing was from my lower back, and this is related to me feeling stuck and stagnant and in inertia and not being able to move forward. And although I did not work with her that night before, she did pop up into my head, Olivia, and I remembered this motion of what I was feeling through spinal energetics, but I felt it in a way that was a little bit more intensive. I'd never experienced this before, other than the preview that I had with Olivia. So moving through this energy and knowing what I know from Olivia of having this be that it was stuck energy of me not moving forward, I was allowing myself to move through this. But because I was in a yoga class, I couldn't obviously let myself go, because people would have been like, what the heck is going on? So I held it in. Friday night, I let myself move through that energy, and I experimented with what my body wanted to do. And it just kept moving. The hips, my spine, everything. It was moving by itself, and I just allowed it to. But because it was so overwhelming and it took so long for this energy to move out, I had to put a stop to it and fall asleep, because I literally fell asleep at 3 a.m., woke up at 5. So 2 hours of sleep, and I was so exhausted. We wake up in the morning, go to Disneyland, and this energy is still there wanting to move out. And although I already made these accommodations to go to Disneyland, I had to keep going, and I had to keep this energy moving. So fast forwarding to now, adding this to the collection of sharing my Kundalini experience, this energy that was moving through my spine, I had a lot that I was feeling from this place of deep rest and this place of full-on exertion, that the only way to really balance this out was through grounding. So I tried to find a place in Disneyland to ground, and there's really nowhere to ground, really. There's trees and there's bushes, and so I found myself a little corner next to these bushes to find a few minutes to ground, but it wasn't, of course, all the way grounding, but enough to keep me going throughout the day. 3 days after Disneyland was when I was able to actually get into the grounding motion. One of the few ways that I notice when I need to ground, which is a very common thing of what other people feel when they need to ground, is this place of irritation. We get aggressive, we get annoyed at the environment that's around us. We start to feel like, oh, I dislike people. I really don't want to be here at work. Shut up, person who's talking. And we just start to throw on these very aggressive thought patterns. We start to feel very judgmental, and we focus all our energy outside of ourselves. Everything annoys us. We get irritated. And this is because we aren't in tune and deeply rooted in ourselves. We are sponges taking on the environment around us. We are absorbing instead of observing. We are becoming this place where we don't know when we end and where others begin. We are just taking it on as we go, and it becomes a lot. So when it comes to grounding, we give our energy to Mother Earth and she takes it for us, because first and foremost, energy never dies. It just transmutes itself. So the feeling that you have of happiness and the feeling that you have when you're sad, that is the same energy in a different frequency. It's at a high frequency or it's at a low frequency. And sometimes when it's at a low frequency, we don't actually really know how to switch it up. And we need that help to do so. And the best tool that can really help us transmute it and transform it is through Mother Earth. Mother Earth, our actual place where our body feels secured, grounded, and supported and safe, is in the earth. So when you're able to take off your shoes, put a blanket out, that's essentially what I did today, was I rode my bike and I took my blanket, I placed it on the ground next to a tree at a park, and I let myself ground. I let myself root into Mother Earth. And one of the most beautiful tools that I learned from my mom while at Disneyland, because I called my mom up and I was like, Mommy, I don't know what's happening with my body. I know the basics of what I've experienced before through spinal energetics, but I know this is something that is beyond my knowledge and I am in need of assistance pretty much. So she was able to speak with me and share beautiful tools that I want to share with you. And one of the best ways to ground into Mother Earth and anchor in is by counting to -1, starting from 10, 9, all the way down 0, -1. You will feel your body ground in. And you know what? If you are at a place where you can do this, let's do it together. I'm just going to do it right here with you, just so that way you can feel into this. So I want you to breathe in through your nose. Exhale out of your mouth. Breathe in again through the nose. Exhale out of the mouth. Breathing in through the nose. Exhaling out. If you can, if you haven't already, close your eyes and tune into your body. We're going to take one more breath together. Breathing in through the nose. Exhale, sigh it out. Beautiful. With those eyes closed, let's begin counting. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, -1. And with your eyes closed, tuning in to the way that you're grounding, just let yourself sit with this idea of being anchored into Mother Earth. Any energy that you're feeling, that you're holding on, that you had taken from the people around you, from the experiences you've been in, imagine that you are giving this energy to Mother Earth, funneling down into the core of Mother Earth. And she gladly takes it from you. She gladly transmutes this for you. She's actually really, really happy that you're here. And you give this all to her. She feeds you light and love. And she shares a message with you. And once she's done taking all that she needs, and you feel done giving it all away, then we are going to count back up from -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Just open your eyes slowly and start to feel. How does your body feel right now? I do want to share that I saw a turtle. That has been my animal spirit, because it just shows me how we have to be patient with our dreams and what we want. I also feel like turtle spirit has been such a big help, because it has allowed me to see that a lot of what I do and a lot of what we all do isn't because of what we do. It's because it helps one another. It's because it brings more vitality to us. But sometimes we feel life's ebb. We feel the heaviness. We feel the tortoise and the hare, the rabbit running and the tortoise, the turtle walking slow. And we feel this go, slow, go, and then slow. We feel this tug of war of life constantly at our feet. And we don't really know how to maneuver and use that balance of both, and how to transmute some of that energy that feels stagnant and stuck, or feels really chaotic and rushed. And it is through connecting to Mother Earth that we are able to actually feel more aware, and actually clarity starts to come through when we are grounded. We start to feel like, oh, I get it now. Like, I was feeling rushed. Oh, I actually needed this to help me feel more aligned. Mother Earth will give you the awareness you need at the right time and the right place when you give her the space. It's like saying a prayer. I like to say this as us grounding and giving energy to Mother Earth is like saying a prayer. It's like saying, please, Spirit, or God, or universe, or whomever we see as a higher source of light, when we say, please guide me, please help me, we actually receive this type of ease and grace in our heart that dismantles and dissolves the stress and the tension we have on our bodies. This is the same beautiful energy that happens when we use Mother Earth, when we use the earth to help us anchor and feel secured and safe. So I see just like the prayers being again, this higher source of light, this beautiful frequency that moves at a high rate. And then I see Mother Earth as being this very earthy, low frequency, but yet so warm that helps us feel stable. So it's that duality of seeing the tortoise and the hare, as seeing action and rest, as seeing my boyfriend air sign and me an earth sign. We are moving through life, and we are to also ask for assistance and speak with both sides. Honestly, though, our thoughts can get the best of us. Our mind, it likes to run a race and it likes to move so fast, and we see our dream and we want to run to that dream and make it happen and make it so. And in those moments, we have to take a step back and see what are the actual steps we need to get there, instead of running towards what will work, shooting all our arrows and constantly missing or constantly feeling exhausted and our arms hurting. And it's really just seeing when is the right time to take that step. When is the right time to take that shot or to move at that pace, and really find that balance through it all. And that is something that I learned this past week in using the reflections of my life from Disneyland. But in reality, what this also looks like for your creative muscle is being able to understand, just as much as you are using rest and action, it is very in sync with using feminine, masculine energy, very in sync with using logic and your creative muscle. So if you're feeling a bit imbalanced, definitely take yourself outside and get in tune with your body. Get in tune with what feels right for your soul. You'll receive the answers you need for your questions, and clear up the clutter in the mind. Take your time. It is not a race, even though we tend to feel like it is. The person next to you is not a competition. They are there to help you, and you are there to help them. So in order to understand and see life again through your heart center, become grounded in who you are, in who you want to become. In Gonyama, again, Simba, little Simba here, actually sharing the piece of taking action and rest and moving with what feels right for you. You know, we move through life's ebbs and flows, and we don't shun ourselves. We don't shame ourselves for not following through. And that's something that I had to learn to heal from, is that I'm not going to get it right all the time, and nor will you. But it will be a learning experience to now go back or go through an experience that was similar to Disney and be able to use my voice, be able to use what I've learned from the past to work together and transmute that, so we can work together, so we can both find more energy throughout our day instead of being so exhausted or feeling like we're not moving fast enough. So thank you, Soul Babes, for tuning in to the Essence podcast. If you would like to hear more about being in your essence and awakening that creative muscle, be sure to follow me and subscribe on YouTube and Apple Podcast. You can also follow me on social media at Essence of Riss on TikTok and Instagram. And also, Soul Babes, if you are in need of a divine intervention, you have something you would like to share and unravel, I am holding space on my podcast for you to do so. We can open up your mind and help you think outside the box, to help you use your creatrix energy to move you forward and to dismantle some of these things that you have seen as more of a repetitive pattern or more of this block. The list is endless of different things that get in our way. Different things that we see as something that may be heavy for us. So if you feel like sharing, if you feel like unraveling this with me, then please be sure to reach out to me. I will have my information below, and I will see you in the next one, Soul Babes.